What's up, YouTubers? So, I wanted to share because I think that you guys have definitely been here too. So out of the blue ish, I think you guys remember like last month, my parents pulled that fun little doozy with my sister and the text and all that kind of stuff. Well, my dad texted me last night saying that my mom really wants to talk to me. And so I said, about what? And she said, she wants to know what she did wrong. She does not understand. We are in therapy and just need info. So I wrote, on a scale of 1 to 5, the idea of discussing my relationship with her stresses me to an 8. I said, I will think about it. I calmed down after that moment. This is why texting is so bad for us. It really is. Because I think that, like, I'm as guilty too, as much as I try to resist it with discussing things with them. It's because it's so reactive and it's so in your face, versus like, and you don't hear the voice tone of the other person. So the idea of trying to text about this is just ridiculous. So anyway, um, I said I'd want her answers ahead of time. So if I was to participate, which of course, do I want to? Of course I do. She's in therapy, like I mean, like that's a big deal, and I would like to support her in that. If this is for therapy, then I would be, I would definitely participate. But it has to still be, you know, but I still have to be careful, of course. Um, and I did write, because I didn't, in my last video that I did with you guys, I had said how obviously my dad took advantage of the texting to write about how, like, how I'm hurting the family and all this kind of stuff. And so I wrote to him and said, and by the way, I'm fine with texting to make arrangements for communication. The next time texting is used to shame me for going no contact, I will block texting permanently. So I did tell him that, because I think that's important, at this point. Because now that I'm just starting to even open up the can of worms of, like, yes, we can talk about why I went no contact for the sake of mom having a more effective therapy experience. You give them an inch, they are going to go a toxic mile. So all right, so here's what my dad wrote me this morning. Mom prefers texting also, so they prefer texting instead. I said, it's only fair for you to explain what you did to what mom did to you. For a very long time, you and your mom got along. You used to call her and talk about things. She's hurt long enough. We are both in therapy. This would be good for her to work out the situation. She blames herself for a lot of things that goes wrong here. To help tell her that she didn't love you the right way has hurt her. We both love you. It's so frustrating. Like it is so frustrating when I mean, like, how do you talk to people who are so emotionally immature about what's wrong with a relationship, and they can't understand? Like, they can't understand. They didn't understand then. They didn't understand during the argument. They didn't understand the 30 some years beforehand of why we were having problems. They didn't understand, like, it's like the the fact that we had a short amount of time, like maybe like 2 years out of like 30, that were okay. That doesn't make this relationship a good relationship. It's amazing, and it's amazing how, like, how they react this way. Ugh. But it's just evidence, like, They prefer texting as opposed to a phone call. They prefer they to be in denial about how things have gone down, and they just can't process. Like, it's amazing how people who seem so functional on the outside. I mean, my dad has a great job, and and my mom comes off to people like she's a normal person, and it's amazing how underneath, though, you discover that they are just emotionally, like, inept on a major level. So anyway, so I wrote back and said, texting about personal feelings is a poor form of communication. If you want to have an effective discussion, we need to have a calm phone call. If that can't happen, then this relationship remains too toxic and I will not participate. So my dad wrote back and said, okay, let me see what I can do. The only question is, what did she do that makes you feel she did not love you the right way? And I said, you really don't want me to answer that by text? I said, and this is about both of you, not her. So here's what they said. My dad just literally texted me again. So real time conversation. He says, okay, then we need to arrange a time to talk respectfully. A good time for us would be after 10 p.m. our time. We want to begin taking steps to heal our relationship with us and you. I don't know. I I don't I feel like healing is a way too far fetched of a goal right now. Like, I don't believe that that's true. Well, okay. I think that, again, it's like, it is. It's like, I think what's really difficult about parents like this is that they are like children, and you have to, and you're the adult, and it is. It's like a child thinking, like there's just these little bits of things that need to happen in order for things to heal, in order for things to get better. And it's like you don't even realize, like, they're like, oh, we just need to put a band-aid on this, and it's like, no, this actually needs surgery if you really want healing. you know and I think too, then, like, like, first off, like, there's so many things I can say here. Well, first off, I think that, like, healing wise, like, I think I need to prepare myself for, like, what they think would be healing wouldn't be actually healing to me. I mean, because here's the thing, I don't I don't think they're going to change. Like, I don't think that they're going to become, you know, um, fully emotionally mature people. Um, I think that it's going to be much more. I think it's going to be a lot. I think it would be more like, like, we can, that they can maybe learn some listening skills. um, that maybe they can learn to but for the idea of even them learning to accept me as I am, or to, I mean, even the whole thing, like, how did we not love you the right way? I'm like, uh, it's just such an immature concept for them, like, of how they process, So, I mean, I can't even imagine us having a calm phone call about the relationship. Um, it just seems so uncomfortable. And of course, I'm uncomfortable. I have a migraine for the first time in, I think the last time I had a migraine was probably talking to them. Um, like my body is reacting to the idea of even talking to them. And I'm, of course, incredibly guarded, as I should be. Like I'm not gonna just, I'm going to talk about it. But here's the thing, when I tell them, like, this relationship is toxic, this is not just about what did she do wrong. It's not a do thing, it's a being thing. Like, this relationship is toxic. It's, it's emotionally abusive. Like, that's some pretty heavy stuff that I definitely don't want to say by text. I want to be able to say it in voice so that they can hear me, so that they don't think that I'm just like, you know, one way or another. Though I really shouldn't care what they think, of course, but it will help them because, like, if I texted them like this is an emotionally abusive relationship, I mean, like, seriously, like, I talk about how incredibly painful, but if at least they can hear my voice, say it in that way that's, not as infuriating, that they can hear it. It provides that text, that context that is absolutely necessary to be able to have really an effective, step to moving forward. Yeah, I no idea. I don't know if they're ready to talk to me. I really don't. Like, I don't think it would be fascinating. And it really is, like, sure, at first, whatever, 2.5, 3 years ago, when this all went down, 2.5 years ago, um, it was about my mom. But what's been really great about this is me being no contact has brought my dad out, because my dad has always been super passive and super, like, enabling and all of this, and you could never quite know where he's at. And now he's been clear. And so now it's like, yeah, this is a problem with me, with both of you. I don't want to talk to either of you, and I won't participate. Like, to be honest, I wouldn't accept a phone call at Christmas time from either of them, at this point, for sure. Like, I don't, why would I want to talk to, it's a problem with both of them. It's her being emotionally abusive, and my dad's a form of emotional abuse, which is denying that anything's wrong, denying that there's a problem. Like, those are the things. Like, this has been a, they're right, it's been a team movement of abuse. And I understand that for them, they're so emotionally immature that they don't even see it as abusive. you know they just have their moments. And it's like, you do realize that your moments create me being on pins and needles my entire life. Like, I didn't even realize how stressed out and how painful it was to have you in my life until you guys were out of my life. Like, that's the thing. And that's the thing that I think will be hard, but I think they need to hear it. I think they need to hear, like, how much happier I am with them not in my life. How much calmer and more peaceful my life is without them. You know, I need to be able to express that to them in a way that is actually helpful. You know, um, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting for sure. But yeah, the second they start to scream at me on the phone, the second they start to cut me off, negate how I feel, things like that, I will hang up and it will be over. You know, so Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long they've been in therapy. I have a feeling it hasn't been for very long. So I don't know if they're actually ready to actually talk to me. But we will see. So anyway, but I wanted you guys to know, because I know that like you guys have gone through this too, and please feel free to provide any of your own stories or feedback or tips or anything like that in this. I'm certainly game for it, and yeah, and I will keep you posted on how all of this goes. But yeah, this is the only time I would ever talk to my parents, is to have a calm, respectful discussion that is actually because they are actually involved in therapy. You know, that would be it. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would rather have the discussion with their therapist in the room. Ooh, maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should say, like, I will have the conversation. I will arrange to talk with you guys with your therapist in the room. You know, I think I might do that. Give me your guys' thoughts and ideas on this, because I'm not gonna respond right away to them. So yeah, so I'm gonna give myself like probably 2 or 3 days. So feel free to give me your thoughts. All right, bye.